A healthy tree is that which allows itself to be shaken by the wind. As it shakes, nourishment goes right deep into its root. It becomes strengthened at the root level. The more strength at the root level, greater is the possibility of shaking flexibility. Shaking flexibility allows a sage to be in communion with masses. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration Sadguru is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal. Beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, in Sthiti Prakarana, section 45. Profound insight into the highest, the absolute truth. And absolute truth is very simple. Truth alone exists. Satyameva jayate, nanritam. Truth alone triumphs. Untruth, like bananas. Layers and layers of illusion. Go and peeling the bananas. You end up with nothing. Now the basic points are being brought to you. Basic points, how should an aspirant live his life, do his sadhana. With the help of a spiritual preceptor. First point, have a spiritual preceptor. Someone who can guide you. Every form of knowledge you want to gain, you have to have a skilled person behind it. You want to be a musician, you don't practice music just by looking into Google. Find an expert musician, then go under their guidance. It's most important to have the right source. Something may appear very ideal, but the source that is coming, the source is not ideal. You have to figure that out. Then you should not follow that type of, you shouldn't be drawn into that type of environment. So, with the help of a spiritual preceptor, study of scriptures. That's important. Swadhyaya. The word swadhyaya is, you study this, your own self, chapter by chapter. Who am I? And that's a vast study. Because it's the basis of your I am, all the universe is recognized. Universe itself doesn't say, here am I the mountain, here I am the sun. They are all experienced through soul operating through the mind. What I'm leading you to understand, the whole world before you is a basis for a study. The world, substantiality in the world is not anything other than the self. So therefore, your study should not be intellectual attainment. That's another aspect. Intellectual study is needed for your practical life. But here we are not focused on that stage. Profound stage is allow yourself to be enriched by spiritual knowledge, nourished by knowledge. By knowledge we imply teachings that emanate from Vedas, Upanishads, all Hindu scriptures, Puranas, all those teachings. If you delve deep into them under guidance, what you are doing, you are figuring out who am I. All that is helping you to understand the I am, what is the source within you. Body is not the source of your experience. Nerves are not the source of your experience. Brain, yes, it's a medium, but not ultimate source. What sources your brain itself? And going to further understanding, all experiences are possible by your senses. But senses themselves can't complete the experience. Mind is needed. Mind, on the other hand, cannot come to a conviction unless intellect helps it. Intellect itself cannot give you ultimate until intellect becomes intuitional and draws from what is behind the intellect, which is a cosmic source. So your study should allow you to gain all this insight. Raja Yoga have explained, Japa Swadhyaya Ishwar Pranidhanani. Japa, reciting divine name, that allows your mind to turn Godwards. And I'm not going to in that detail at this stage. But all that comes under Swadhyaya. Japa, surrender to God, and study of scriptures. Your Swadhyaya becomes successful when you ascertain the fact that the world is unreal. Therefore, do not allow your mind to be just fascinated by a worldly visualization that this is how I should be to be happy. Because nowhere in the world you can find that perfect ideal. You can become very healthy. You can have a big property and possession. You can go viral. You can be adored and applauded by countless people. But should it be the goal of any individual? That's the goal. If you are childish, then of course this is the best thing you can get. But if you don't want to stay childish, want to be wise, then wise up. While live your life, allow a subtle mystic effort to enter your movement. It's called yoga has to enter in your movement, paving the way to a profounder revelation of I am. Who am I? I am that am I. Aham Brahmas. Your aham has gone into mayhem. Not in Miami. I'm joking. Then having discovered the unreality of the world, he should not allow himself to be agitated by the loss of wealth or even by the death of dear relatives. And having discovered the self, he ends all forms of grief. Need to understand in a profound way. As unreality of the world is discovered, it is not a discovery at your intellectual level. It's a discovery at the level of your intuitive awareness. Intuitive awareness, again, doesn't come all at once. If your conscience becomes very clear, if a heart begins to clear up, a deep-rooted understanding becomes very simple to know that you are something that cannot be taken away by time. Time will come and go. All things, but the I am, that remains untouched. That type of understanding, just like when you go to sleep, all things that are so important for your mind completely move away. And you are in no way missing them. Rather, you are refreshed in sleep. Refreshed with the fact that nothing was there. To draw from this the lesson. If you could understand nothing is there, not by sleeping, but by waking up. Through profound understanding, you will have the highest revelation. You will be attaining the goal that's called Paramdham, supreme goal. A sense of increasing unreality of the world begins to enter your life if your sadhana is sustained day by day under good guidance. That's what we call vairagya, dispassion. And the symptoms that develop in your daily life, the symptoms are challenges everyone has to face. It's the time for contagious diseases like sneezing. Anybody can get it. And life will present ups and downs in so many stages. People live in their problems. You have family problems. You have the body, you have body problems. But while all this goes on, how are you handling and end up with what? In other words, as you do your sadhana, there is always a room open within yourself to move away from all problems and turn to God. That ability is creating a channel. And that channel goes on opening more and more, which endows you with patience, endurance, not to be discouraged, not to enter into despair, nil desperandum. So, if that is what we mean by discovering the unreality of the world. Discovering the unreality of the world is not 1 minute job. Oh, from tomorrow, the world doesn't exist. I am Brahman. No, you are discovering the unreality by facing challenges with patience. Because deep down there is a little whisper. This is not a reality. Wait. And the more you go in that process, you are becoming increasingly aware that the world is not there to trap you. The world is there only to help you to get out of illusions. All that is given to you is a basis for your enlightenment. And the final stage, in brief, there will be no grief. That again is a profounder stage. If you live with your mind, mind will show grief. But behind the mind is your heart, the deeper level. That level will not be touched. People get into confusion. We'll see great sages. At the time of death, there is certain utterance of suffering. Even Jesus says, "Oh God, have you forsaken me? Father." That experience of pain and sorrow, because this is a reality being expressed through your brain and nervous system. That expression does not mean the true expression of what you are. Figure that out. So, the idea is not to become a stone-like personality unshaken by everything. But be flexible, be shaken. And yet, I'm not shaken at all. Put it in another way to understand. A healthy tree is that which allows itself to be shaken by the wind. As it shakes, nourishment goes right deep into its root. It becomes strengthened at the root level. The more strength at the root level, greater is the possibility of shaking flexibility. Shaking flexibility allows a sage to be in communion with masses. Otherwise, the sage became like a mountain. All right, people will come and have darshan, but nothing can you gain out. But in brief, that aspect of sage's personality communes with the masses and their sufferings and appears to be even shaken by all that. And that allows the people to draw teachings. This ocean of the world process surges with the waters of vasanas. You have to always understand that. All your experiences in this world are backed up by your vasanas, subtle desires of your mind. Subtle desires means subtle impressions. Every moment you are interacting with objects of the world or people of the world, but in that interaction, what is highlighted? Your vasana. Subtle impression. Near and dear ones, who are near and dear, depends upon your vasana. Even your relatives, very close, practically near and dear ones, are not always near and dear. You become offended by them. So, what makes people near? Not the space, your vasana. And that applies to all objects of the world. Led by vasana, certain objects are very dear to you, certain objects are nasty, you have to throw them away. Certain objects are confused. In the morning you want them, by the evening you don't want them. So the whole world is a play of vasanas. It's the ocean of vasana. You are diving up and down, up and down. While many continue to drown in this ocean, those who enter into the boat of prajna cross it and attain the immortal abode of the self. Prajna is intuitional knowledge. The revelation, I am Brahman. With that revelation, the enlightened soul is not drowned by the vasanas, drowned into vasanas. Vasanas continue like clouds continue in the sky. The sky doesn't get drowned in the clouds. Sharpen your intellect by the practice of vivek, vairagya, titiksha. Few things have been mentioned by Yoga Vasistha, but let me give you a complete picture. The picture is about Adhikaritva, who is qualified for attaining spiritual knowledge. And for that, scriptures have highlighted vivek, first point, increasing subtle understanding that I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. Objects of the world are not really giving me happiness. Any setting in the world that will seem so pleasant is only a passing situation. So that viveka movement, but all this is not a matter of a pathetic nature. Vivek implies all this leading to the highest joy, a joyous revelation. When you speak of world and its shallowness, it gives a sense of pathos, despair. So all this is not there. Where are we going? In the desert? No. All this is not there. You are waking up from a miserable dream to a joyous awakening. So, vivek, vairagya, dispassion. Third one is a set of 6 virtues. Shama, serenity. Dhamma, control of mind and senses. Uparati, allowing your rati, the sense of delight, to shift from just pleasure, eat, drink, be merry, from that state to a purposeful experience coming closer and closer to God. Rati, that is moving, your delight moving to higher and higher grades. Uparati. So much so that you were not interested in going to heaven and then coming back and doing the same thing again and again. Next one is called titiksha. Titiksha means developing endurance. People do endure, but while enduring, they become extremely pessimistic. So that endurance is not titiksha. All these qualities have to be developed with great patience. Today you may have more titiksha, tomorrow you may lose it. But once you have experienced it, it bugs your mind. Good bug. Next quality is Shraddha. You have developed internal confidence, faith. And if it is sattvic, it becomes extremely unshaken. And finally, samadhan. Do not spend all your energy criticizing the adversities of your life, but put yourself through self-effort with the understanding that God has given you all the resources. And the best news, He is with you. And He is guiding you. Remember that Gita, Upadrashta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara. God is observing you. To come to that level requires your good karmas. Everybody do not have that stage. Masses don't have that stage of understanding that God is behind. As you purify yourself amongst countless souls working, those who have developed certain good karmas and some good association, they come to this stage that God is watching over. The second stage, anumanta. When you do something negative, someone gives you a bag on your head. Your own conscience hits you. That's God is now coming more closer to your life. And when you are trying to do something good, something comes from behind, patting you, praising you, encouraging you. That's called anumanta. That type of feeling enters your personality. Next, bharta. You begin to realize that you don't have to worry all about how things are going to be. Having seen few hairs turn grey, now start worrying. What will happen 5 years later? Imagining all types of tragedy and turmoil. No. Develop understanding that you have a bharta, you have a bhartar. You have some beloved one who worries about you more than you worry about yourself. But his worry is not worry. His worry is like doctor's attitude to a patient. If doctor worries about the patient, then he himself needs to go to the hospital. And then you come to a stage that you are not living your life for enjoyment. Your ego begins to fade away, self-effacement. Then who has been the enjoyer in your personality? God, Bhokta. And now opens up to your revelation that enjoyer within you is God himself. God who is Brahman, the absolute, Paramatma. All this is given in the Gita, these stages. Upadrashtanumantacha, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. All these stages come in your life as a result of your qualifications. Coming back again to the Vedantic category, you have Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Sampat, 6 virtues which I have explained, and finally aspiration, burning aspiration for God realization. Burning aspiration. All these words come, they don't mean to keep you in a state of agitation. Burning doesn't mean real burning. It's a cool attraction towards the divine. Egg wants to hatch out of it. It's a burning aspiration. The swan wants to fly up over the rainbow. It's a burning aspiration. The sun wants to rise, show up by removing the clouds. The burning aspiration. Burning aspiration is not real, not a tragic development. It's a powerful urge, just like people who are skilled in a sport and mountain climbing. Then each time they see a bigger mountain, now they become very more happier. They can show up their strength better. So that type of aspiration is bigger. So these are qualifications called Adhikaritva. And then sadhana is Shravana Chatushtaya, what you practice. Shravana, listening. The listening again is your whole life job. Your 2 ears are always hungry. You are not given joyous words to listen to. You go into all types of politics and worldly news. A lot of junk enters through the ear channels. And even when things are normal, seems to be cultured, still listening art has to develop. Many things go out of your touch, out of your sight. Wonderful situations come, but you do not have not listened in a profound way. The listening, simple definition of listening is you allow your mind to pick up the pearls of wisdom as you study the scriptures. And next stage, Manana. Manana is like chewing the cud. What you have picked up, you reflect upon it. Shravana removes sanshaya bhavana, doubts. You have so much doubt and diffidence and misunderstanding and distorted notion about yourself, about your goal, about the world. And these notions swarm over your emotions. But when you allow a deep interest into listening to what is the reality, not the views of people, but what is the heart-based reality. And again, to understand, all the scriptures are lined up to promote that. So listening removes sanshaya bhavana, doubting state of mind. And just to remind you that it's not something that your mind becomes free of doubt forever. No, that again is always a progressive movement. Greater the purity, greater is your state of conviction. And your conviction is not complete until until complete integration occurs. But while you are integrating, you find yourself more and more secure, even while mind is buzzing over you with creating doubts, diffidence. Try to understand in a proper way. The idea is that even though the mind has its own imaginations, etc., a deeper level of your mind stays calm. You have no doubt in your deeper level about the result of things, about sadhana and its result, the goal. Next one is called asambhavana. Asambhavana means feeling of diffidence. That all right, whatever scripture says is wonderful. Everything I understand it. But I understand myself more than what they are saying. I'm not ready for liberation, but maybe in 2 or 3 more. So always a diffidence about your potentiality. That diffidence moves away as you do manana. Having listened to, you have picked up pearls. Now you are utilizing the pearls in a more profounder way. And as you are digesting what you have listened to, then you realize it's not a question of time, it's a question of understanding. It's not a time that makes you grow up. Your understanding that makes you outgrow everything. So nothing is impossible. The last one called viparita bhavana. Viparit, mind has developed a kind of a distorted notion. Simple illustration is when you are seeing your face in a mirror and someone asks you, what are you doing? What are you seeing? And of course you say the truth, I'm seeing my face. But not exactly the truth. You are looking into the mirror. But somehow your face becomes more important than the mirror. And the face that you see in the mirror may not be exactly your face. It's a reflection. Understanding this point corrects viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana is that subtle confusion between awareness that is bringing out all these experiences of your mind, of your sentiments, of your practical reality. All these are in the realm of awareness. But the very awareness is like the mirror. That mirror you are forgetting, but you are involved with all these reflections. What is behind your worries, your anxieties, your expectations, your joyous condition, your all types of mental process goes on. But what is the underlying fact? Underlying fact is awareness. That awareness remains like ocean. All that you are experiencing are waves, reflections in that awareness. And somehow in your search, that pure awareness skips your notice. That pure awareness is God, is Brahman, is Satchidananda, ever-present reality. So that's removed by Nididhyasana. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is a Vedantic way of talking about samadhi. Your mind moves away from worldly realities, mind that what called Vishayakara vritti, mind that is going after objects of the world goes into a modification. Those modifications of the mind subside, and you allow your mind to understand, I am Brahman. Just like we're looking at the ocean. First stage, we are looking at all the waves, and sometimes you are interested in a wave and go on looking where it is going. This is called Vishayakara vritti. Your mind is going after waves, and that have endless extension. And next, Brahmakara vritti. Your mind is looking at the ocean. Oh, how wonderful the ocean. Ocean automatically implied all the waves and goes far beyond the waves. So your awareness has always that type of possibility. Awareness at the ocean stage. Awareness undistracted. Then awareness through your mind, and mind with vasanas and so forth. Awareness gets into so many refractions. Your life of birth and death, all that is in the realm of refraction. Sun is there, but all the illuminations that you find, they are refractions of the light of the sun. Do not follow the conduct of the ignorant, but follow the exemplary conduct of sages. Another point, that's highlighted in Hindu culture. Firstly, you must take Charana Raj, dust of the feet. It is not the dust of the feet. What it implies, follow the footsteps of those who are advanced. But ritualistically, you start with the feet. No harm in that. It gives you reflexology. Now, if you follow the examples of sages, exercising any conduct, Sanskrit word is acharan, achar. You follow saintly personalities because sadachara. Your conduct is authenticated by saintly illustrations. You are following the conduct of leading to truth, sat achar. Your achar is associated with vyavahar. Vyavahar means how do you live your practical life? How do you deal with people around you, friends, dear ones, etc.? In your interactions, what is your style? And while all this goes on, sadvichar, your mind goes on developing profounder understanding. Sadachar, sadvyavahar, sadvichar. People in this world become proud of their learning, austerity, valor, skill, birth in a respectable family, fame, prosperity, and virtuous qualities. See how human mind can be obsessed. An ego can become inflated. What seems like positive, if you have accomplished a lot of academic success, if you have fasted for so many days and didn't waver and observed all the ekadashis of a whole year, then you write notes, inform all people how you have done. Anyone who doesn't agree, you can agree with them. So, try to understand the illusion. All the good thing you do is good. But your goodness should not end up inflating your ego. It should end up thinning out your ego, depriving the ego of all its calories. I'm joking. To end up in surrender to God. What are all these things are mentioned in Yoga Vasistha? Learning, austerity, valor, skill, birth in a respectable family, fame, prosperity, and virtuous qualities. So people are proud of these. But a sage, seeing the illusoriness of all this, neither covets them nor becomes proud because of them. So figure that out now. We'll continue for conclude at this is. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.